class, this is Kayla Searle, and this is my project on project-based learning. So first I'm going to go over the table of contents and what we are going to learn throughout my presentation. So first I'm going to go over Chapter 3, Examining the Possibilities, next Chapter 4, Strategies for Discovery, and lastly Chapter 5, Making Assessments Meaningful. So what is project-based learning? Project-based learning is a form of teaching where students learn by actively engaging in real-world and personally meaningful projects. Now that we know what project-based learning is, teachers need to focus on the big idea and how to incorporate project-based learning in the classroom. So projects create more engagement for students. To create more meaningful projects, teachers should look for the big idea out of the lesson. This is a standard of development that calls on students to be able to analyze and apply information and make information more concrete to them. They can apply class lessons in real life, and when students know their project holds value, they become more invested in learning and producing their best quality work. In order for teachers to do this, they should work with their colleagues to incorporate the big idea and collectively create a project that will address a goal from each of the subjects. Now that we know what the big idea is, it is also important to use digital age skills when creating a project for students. The project should be aimed to help students develop important skills, attitudes, and habits of mind. In order to do this, we should follow the Bloom categories of objectives that use a high order of thinking skills such as analyze, evaluate, and create. This should be used when making the project and should be used all throughout the process of the project by the students. This transforms a typical project and introduces a higher level of thinking to students to get the most out of their project. Once students follow the high order of thinking, they should use technology as a tool to support them throughout the project's process. So instead of tracking a large list of tools, students should consider the functions technology can deliver to support their project. Teachers should enforce these 6 essential learning functions, and they should be done throughout the process of the project. The first one is research, have the students interact with their experts. Then we want them to make ideas visible, so bring their ideas out in the open, kind of brainstorm what they want to do. Collaboration is also important. Project management, organize their project and the process of doing it. They need to, at the end, reflect, and lastly, have supported study, which helps them find resources from the textbook and kind of reflect back on the curriculum and learn what the purpose of the project was. Since we talked about the learning process students go through, how can teachers meet these requirements, these projects requirements? So when deciding on a project plan, teachers need to be selective since quality varies. It's a good idea to collaborate with colleagues when first creating a project plan because this opens opportunity for finding interesting projects that meet all the requirements needed. In order to design terrific projects, teachers need to focus on letting their students' interests drive their experience. So teachers need to set up a situation in which they want to ask questions, in which students want to ask questions and learn more, because students thrive best with projects they want answers to because they believe in what they are doing. We also want to make students active participants. Challenging students to use technology to be active participants in the project. This gains their interest since they aren't only doing a project for a grade. And lastly, we want to encourage dialogue because this helps students work together as a team, but also learn from each other. Designing a project that involves dialogue between students encourages sharing more personal experiences while doing the project. To let students learn the most from their project, teachers should make assessments throughout the project. And it helps students learn more than making it at the end of the project. Frequently assessing students helps determine what they are learning from the project and not only the progress that they are making. Teachers don't only grade the quality of work, but they should determine if the student learned the learning outcome. With the most effective projects, teachers can produce a summative assessment on their students' work to measure this learning growth. Teachers should think back to the beginning of their project and assess the steps the student took in finishing the project to determine if the student met the lesson objective, and also understand how objective evidence and activities work throughout a project. By giving students a project, it encourages them and helps them understand subjects on a deeper level. This is why project-based learning produces the most engagement and encourages an innovative learning experience and should be used by every teacher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.